Job hunting is part science, part art, but one thing is for sure. It all starts with a great resume. In this video, we'll focus on building your killer resume so that it stands out from the competition and nets you all the interviews. Before we get to the actual writing of the resume, we need to cover a few things. Did you do the email project mentioned in a previous video? This is where that project can shine. Add your custom email address to your resume, but be sure to test it out first to make sure it works, especially if you set up email filtering. If you didn't, then go make sure you have a professional looking email. Your personal iluvbigbutts at AOL.com isn't going to cut it. Go to Google, make your Gmail address, and put your name in it. If you're like me, transitioning from a completely different field, then your education and experience won't match what you want to do. But that's okay. If you've earned a degree or went to a trade school, list it. When you write about your professional experience, highlight those soft skills and try to add components that transfer to the role that you want. In terms of layout, you'll want to prioritize the most important information at the top. So if your experience is working at a car dealer, then put those IT certifications above your professional experience. Now, you can list a cert as in progress if you're close to sitting for the exam. You can bet you'll get interview questions about it, so be prepared. This can pay off in terms of having HR actually review your resume and pass it forward, but please don't list a cert as in progress if you're nowhere near ready to take the test. If you choose to include a clickable link, say to your website or to a certification, be sure to test sending your email as an attachment to a few folks to make sure that they receive it. For instance, if you created a website but didn't generate an SSL cert, so your website is HTTPS, not just HTTP, and post your project there, then some filters will consider your email to be spam and send it to junk or maybe just break the links. Once you create your resume, run it through a free online ATS scanner. Google search free ATS resume scan. You'll find a ton of options. See how well auto scanners parse your resume and make some modifications from there. Then test and retest some more. If your resume doesn't parse well, it's never going to bypass the HR filters. Now, give your resume to someone to review. You want another set of eyes on your resume before you start sending it out. Only after you receive a couple of stamps of approval should you send out your resume. That is, just because it parses well through ATS does not mean that more improvements can't be made. While doing my research for this video, I came across this article and it's awesome. It has a ton of tips and I just want to check out a few. I'll put the link in the description below so you can read through the whole thing. Let's just check out a couple of these here. Don't try to cram every skill and work experience onto your resume. In my opinion, I only do a one-page resume. Some people do 2 pages, but you're putting so much on there and people don't read that much, right? So make it clear and concise. Jam that bad boy down into 1 page. You don't need every single thing you've ever done. Number 2, keep a resume outline with a full list of your qualifications. So this would be like a backup resume, 3, 4, 5 pages, whatever, where you put every single thing that you've done. So if you want to apply for a very specific job at a very specific company, you really want it, you can go here to this backup resume and just pull the best details that match that job description the best. Ditch the objective statement. Now this one, not actually true if you're trying to career transition from, say chef or whatever into IT or cybersecurity. And they even say that. Use the objective statement. It's at like the very top saying when you're making a huge career change and you need to explain from the get-go why your experience doesn't match up with the position you're applying to. So if you don't have a background in IT, go with an objective statement. It's 1, maybe 2 sentences of who you are and why you're career transitioning and how you're still a good candidate for the position. Put the best, most relevant information first. Okay, here's why. Here's why you need to put the best, most relevant information first. This is what happens if you've ever read a resume, like someone else's resume. They do this first. They scan up and down to see what sections you have, and then they'll read like this. And it goes like this. They read the top line the most, and then as they go down the page, they read less and less. You get like 10 seconds. They are not reading these chunky paragraphs, like this whole paragraph here. They're not reading that. I didn't read it. They're not going to read it. They're just going to briefly scan. They're going to scan fewer words in each sentence as they go down the page. So put your best, most relevant information up top and in each section at the top of that particular section. Keep it concise, right? You don't want to waste people's time. People aren't going to give you, more time when they have 10,000 resumes to get through. You got like 10 seconds. This article has 43 tips. So go ahead, check them out. There's a lot of good stuff to know in here. All right, you can't make a resume building video without ChatGPT or some other AI. I have some text that I pre-wrote out. Create a resume for me, blah, 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 blah. This is who I am, this is what I want to be, right? Let's test it out. So yes, you need all of this stuff. It gave us an objective. Dedicated and adaptable high school English teacher, 6 years experience seeking entry-level IT role to leverage technical skills and IT certifications in CompTIA, A+ and Network+, possessing degrees. Okay, yeah, that's okay for an objective. It's a little wordy, but not bad. But then it put education up front. See, I would put certifications next. So all of the important stuff like who you are, where you live, then the objective, and then I would put certifications because this is the most IT related thing that I have. I'd put education probably next. Technical skills. Don't really like that section, so I'd probably ask, build out the technical skills section more. We'll come back to that. Now it got me my professional experience, so that's nice. Why do we have English teacher twice? That's not good. So you want to cut that out. Obviously you're going to have to review this, right? Additional skills, you can cut out additional skills. No one cares. References, you don't need to put the references there. Certainly. Okay, so you can have it expand out. Obviously you're not going to want to put all of this in terms of technical skills, and if you're just starting, like, I like AI, but it's not great. It still needs people, right? So this is a way where you can go in and maybe grab like sentences that you like, especially if you're not great at writing. Like go in and have AI craft some sentences, but then you'll need to plug it in yourself to the resume. Personally, I would choose a pre-built template, either in Word or in Google Docs. In Google Docs here, if you just open up Docs, you can open the template gallery. And at the very top, I didn't even have to search anything. It's got resumes here. So you can just open them in a new tab, see what they look like. So I've actually used this one. You can do some modification to it. Like I put this information right here into the top right. You'll want to change what these say, like skills. That would probably be your objective. Your experience, you'd want to put on a certification, title there, and you can change the colors, right? If you don't like pink, you can just change the color. So just find a template that you like. Some people like the 2-column one, but again, I would choose a template because they tend to parse better through the ATS system, but go ahead, create one, run it through the ATS, and if it doesn't parse well, just choose a different one. No sense in getting super fancy and creating your own template. If you've been following along in the series, you've already created your LinkedIn profile, and now we can leverage that profile. So you'll have to log into LinkedIn, drop down, click View Profile, and then you have to like scroll down a bit to get this More option. Click More. You can build a resume. So I already have one built here, and it like creates everything for you. Now, I wouldn't recommend submitting this exact thing to to anyone. But now you can copy and paste. You have all the dates that you already need. You have the job titles. You've got these right here that we already got from ChatGPT, your education. You've got your certifications. So it's like the one-stop shop. You just set up on one monitor or on one side of your monitor, get this resume, and on the next side, start filling in all of those sections. You've already got all of the information you need. Now it's just plug it in and test it out. It may take some time to perfect your resume. Trial and error creates improvement, and if you apply the advice here, you'll be several steps ahead. Next up, we'll continue with job hunting strategies by discussing networking and actually applying for jobs. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.